agreed to a trade and to head to the Cleveland Browns. How about that? We had heard the Falcons, we had heard the Saints. The Browns were in there for a mix and they fell off, and in a surprise twist, it appears to be the Browns after all. Josina Anderson confirming that. Jonathan Jones confirming that. Deshaun Watson putting it on Instagram himself there. Reportedly signing a new 5-year deal, $230 million fully guaranteed. Here are the details of the trade. According to reports, the Browns get Deshaun Watson, also a 5th-round pick. The Texans, in return, 3 first-round picks. That is what they had wanted, plus some additional assets there, a 3rd-round pick and a 4th-round pick as well. Let's welcome in our NFL insider, Josina Anderson. So we're going to talk about the Browns, but we got to talk about what went wrong with the Falcons, because it almost felt like that was inevitable. Deshaun Watson is from the area. He was a ball boy for them. He has so many ties to that organization. How did things fall apart with them?
Well, I don't even know that I can say that they fell apart, because at the end of the day, nothing is done until it's done. And you don't work in this business and cover these things and not know that. And so until you're tweeting out or until you're saying something is definitively done, it's not done. Now, to talk about the Atlanta Falcons, yes, and I was just on the phone right before we came, obviously, we're trying to get this deal done. There was a lot of talk percolating this morning about a new contract being a part of this deal. You heard the reports in terms of what the Carolina Panthers were not willing to do. I spoke to sources today, I'll just say league sources, that let me know that the Panthers weren't willing to do certain things with that contract when it came to the guaranteed portions. That is true. And I was just told before we got on that the Atlanta Falcons were working their way to try to get this done. And the other thing that I just heard is that the Cleveland Browns general manager, Andrew Berry, was given, quote unquote, full authorization to get in there and do whatever it takes to get this done. And that's what he did. And good for him, because that is the job. And for that contract to be fully guaranteed at that amount, that is a whopping amount. All chips are on the table, and that is what it took in order for this to occur. So, what are you going to say?
Exactly. Look, you said nothing is done until it's done, right? Papers have not been signed yet. This trade has been agreed upon, and we've seen it this week. Players announcing they're going to a team, and they're like, no, I'm either going to go to this one or I'm going to stick with my old one here. Is there anything that could make this fall apart?
No. I mean, outside of, I know I don't even want to, this seems like this is in, the barn, you know what I'm saying, with respect to all of these details. I don't even want to, continue. I understand what you're saying based on what I'm saying, but, with where everything is now, right. This is the expectation, I would say, that even I have now at this point with where it is. I'm not expecting a 1% shocker to come in again, right? And just to kind of illuminate this too, I just, before we came on, just got another call from a Brown source, even within the organization, who just called me and said, is he really coming here? Is that true? And I'm just like, bro, yes. How do you, so it's like, that just lets you know the roller coaster of emotions that have been surrounding, this whole thing, for Deshaun Watson to go from, informing the team that they're out of it, and to be the first team to be informed of that. The Panthers were waiting and waiting and waiting. And quite frankly, during that period, we're not hearing anything for quite a while. And then obviously, whatever time the specific conversations, obviously I'm not there, with regards to the contract and them not going fully there with certain, requests and talks that were going. And now you have the Falcons, even as of, late last night, this morning, feeling like the barn is in the hay, with regards to the track that they were going on. And, the Browns come in and make this offer and get the deal done. So Deshaun Watson is now on Instagram, photoshopping himself in this uniform, and Baker Mayfield is headed off to another team. And just like that, I mean, and not even to just, and let me just kind of peel back on my own self now, because, obviously Baker Mayfield is finding this out. And this is somebody as a quarterback who has given his blood, sweat, and tears to this organization. And so there are a lot of emotions and sensitivities. However, he will get an opportunity with another organization to help them out. But this is how it goes in the business of the National Football League.
So let's expand on that a little bit about Baker Mayfield, because you've been our source this whole week. We talked to you yesterday when he requested a trade, and then the Browns said no. So Baker Mayfield will now be heading elsewhere. What is the latest when it comes to him, the impact for him?
Well, I was told as of this morning that the Seahawks seeking whatever term that you want to use, a veteran quarterback with experience in addition to what they have. That is the information that I have, and I have been told. And in addition to that, we already know that Baker Mayfield has put out a statement expressing his sentiments, which I said at the time was a placeholder for another statement, to come, which has been his camp letting the Cleveland Browns know that he wants to be dealt. And I understand specifications as to where he wants to go has been included in that. But obviously, it's a two-party transaction, and the Browns have to be comfortable with whatever compensation that they are getting as far as where he goes. I'm sure that they will listen, much like Andrew Berry, per just, what we've seen, tries to deal with things fairly. And I say that in the context of the package that sent Odell Beckham Jr., or just how he dealt with his contract, rather, when Odell Beckham Jr. was departing Cleveland to go to the Rams. There are things that Andrew Berry could have done with that contract, seeing as though certain rights were within the organization's realm to do and not to do. So I think you'll see something presumably, if you look at that as an example, that hopefully makes Baker happy. But yes, the teams like Seattle who have placed inquiries, and also the Colts as well, as far as what I know so far.
Josina, I know you're not going to do this.
Amanda, before you go, I just wanted to say, because this happened, and this is what I was looking at right before we came on. And this is a statement from the league with regards to Deshaun Watson's status with everything that's going on with his case. As we know, the criminal component is done. The civil stuff is still ongoing. But the league said, quote, and this is per the NFL Network, any transaction would have no effect on the NFL's ongoing and comprehensive investigation of the serious allegations against Deshaun Watson, nor would it affect his status under the collective bargaining agreement and the personal conduct policy ongoing. If the league's investigation determines that Watson violated the personal conduct policy, discipline may be imposed pursuant to the policy and the CBA. So that is also giving you some sort of context and illumination to his availability with this upcoming season. Possibly could receive some discipline with respect to the context of the framing of that statement from the National Football League.
What sort of discipline? How long are we looking at here? I mean, I know it's obviously a range, but is there any insight you would have on that?
Well, I mean, all of these cases are separate and individual, right? Obviously a critical part of his case is done, with the criminal aspect. He still has these civil litigations pending. I'll share this with you guys and try to put it in context as much as I can. But, one source said to me, even if we find something with regards to just one individual, and they were putting this as a kind of a rhetorical statement, even if it would just be one, that would be enough, right? For some sort of discipline, right? Or just the fact that even within the language of the conduct policy, there is a lot of discretion that the commissioner has to put out discipline, right? If there's a feeling of a tarnishing of the league or the headlines or what have you. So anyways, I'm just saying that this could go a number of ways. I mean, you look at the example of Ben Roethlisberger, wasn't specifically charged. So, this could go a lot of ways. I don't want to put a number on it, but we'll see.
We'll see what happens with the league in that investigation as well. Josina Anderson, thank you so much. Constantly on your phone. I wish you could put it on silent, but then we're not going to get all your inside info. We appreciate it there. Okay, taking a look at the odds to win the Super Bowl. And lo and behold, the Browns had moved up quite a bit before the announcement that Deshaun Watson would be heading there. They were sitting at plus 4,000, 40-1 odds. That has now been cut in half, 20-1 odds right now for the Cleveland Browns with Deshaun Watson. And the latest odds to win the AFC North, the Browns have jumped to the top of that, now at plus 180, above the Ravens, Bengals, and the Steelers. Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.